Oh my god, the migraine I have went through in setting this up. Oh my god. Alright, where are we? There we are. So, I'm sorry that today is an hour late. My laptop kind of crapped out. Everything just randomly auto-updated as it usually does. And it took me an hour to set everything up, and by the time I got back to setting things up, OBS basically reset. Some things, I guess, quote unquote, got corrupted, so I had to manually reset a bunch of things. So here I am, an hour later. I'm a little tired, but I think we have enough energy, at least for one or two demo discs. PS2 demo discs, at least for what they are, give a lot better. Or how do I say this? They give a lot more bang for the buck for like one demo disc compared to what you would normally get in a PS1 demo disc if it's just like a couple games and whatnot. So there's definitely a lot more variety to go through around PS2 wise. Alright. Other things that, and speaking of other things that I've updated, you might notice a couple new things with the PS2 now. I did a couple updates to the okay, good, I can still hear it. I updated OPL, so the loader is updated, so hopefully there's better compatibility this time around. The only thing I haven't figured out yet so far is trying to get the cover art and like the layout for things to show on OPL, which again isn't really necessary. I just like the presentation, as it usually is for like Dreamcast mode stuff. So you'll notice that it looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit cleaner. Like if I had the cover art and the disc art, it would probably be on the right there. It looks a little slicker. I am now able to save settings, so I can change around the video settings and everything. I was testing out a PAL game today. The one PAL game that I have on my file is Worms 3D, and I think I almost got it working. I'm testing that out because I want to see if I can, get some PAL games working on my NTSC PS2 without needing any adapters. If I can figure out how to get that, then that'll definitely open up the floodgates to open a couple PAL games. But I need to play around with the video settings and get things working. Otherwise, it's going kaput. So, most things are more simplified now. Hopefully, there's better compatibility for games in the future now. It just looks a little better. So, couple demo discs that I added today. We're going to be taking a look at 51. This is from later in 2001. And a couple other ones that I added was 53, which I think was 2002. I added the Jampack for summer and winter 2001. The summer 2001 Jampack is nearly identical. I might just show this real quick. Hold on. Yeah, the summer 2001 Jampack is nearly identical to, I think, the 5.1 PlayStation Underground demo disc. Oh yeah, that happens too. Now there's a flashing light show every time I load up a game now. But yeah, if this looks familiar, then this is essentially the same as the one of the earlier PS2 demo discs that we looked at last time. Like same layout and everything. I think like the only thing that's different is like a few of the demos are different. Let me show you. Like that was on the last one. I don't remember if that was on the last one. Zone of the Enders was on the last one. Eco was there. We played Red Faction. We played that one. I think this is a new one. Yeah, Zone of the Enders we played. Soul Reaver 2. Didn't we just look at... No, we looked at a demo... Or we looked at a demo video of Soul Reaver 1 yesterday. Yeah. For the most part, most of these are the same. Yeah, Gauntlet was there. So I would assume that, you know, this demo disc and the previous one, the 5.1 demo disc, are more or less the same as what we looked at. Just slight variant differences. I mean, I'll take a quick look at tool borders real quick. Did we look at this? Yeah, no, wait a minute. I think we did look at this. But yeah, no, never mind. So yeah, this is just one I added just because, you know, it was on the list. Hi, Chris. I hope you're doing better today, buddy. I know you're feeling a little bit down. Just know we love you, pal. Me and everybody in the Jinx Discord loves you. So there's not really much to look at with this one. I added that just to show the similarities. So yeah, that's good to hear. I'm looking after you, man. I also added up the boot screen again, because that was an option that was turned off. Let's go back to that. So demo disc 51, I think, is again later 2001. If we have time after, we might look at the winter 2001 demo disc. That's a new one that has newer demos on it. And then I added one probably for a later time. I added 53, and I added the it's technically not the summer 2002 Jampack, but it's one of them that released during that time. Yeah, the summer sampler. Like they did these every summer and every winter from like 2001 to like 2005 or so, and then they kind of just did it numerically. So the main event for today. I think the reason why it does this flashing light show is because it has to play around with all the video settings that are new to this version of OPL. Oh great, she's back. Terrible CGI lady is back. Wait. Is this Metal Gear Solid 2? Oh my god, are we looking at a Metal Gear Solid 2 demo today?
Simulation. No, just a journalist on the run from her evil producer.
Touchy. Well, if you're done with your little holographic game of hide and seek, why don't you tell the viewers what's in this issue?
No problem. Hey gang, in this issue, check out Eco. We got the lowdown from the developers.
We looked at Eco last time. I couldn't figure out how to play it.
To hang out with the creators of Jack and Daxter.
Oh, Jack and Daxter?
For those of you who thought the 360 camera we used at E3 in our last issue was cool, the folks at En-Route showed us how they're using it to give you a head-spinning look at things.
Head spinning, huh?
Oh, they brought back that thing too. Yeah, I like that little robot. They should have that in more of these
simulation. Now, where did I leave that laser?
Oh my god, are we actually looking at Metal Gear Solid 2 today? I don't know if I'm ready for that. Yeah, let's just check it out. Kinetica. Extermination is, I think I mentioned this before we looked at an early video of this, but Extermination is one of those early survival horror games on PS2. Doesn't really get mentioned a lot. Horse racing. NBA Street. I assume this is Volume 1. F101. Final Fantasy X. Good Lord, no. It's probably just a video of it. Blood Omen 2. Okay. Good. More Jack and Daxter. And they duped me. I thought we were I legit thought we were gonna get a. Because this is late 2001. That's around the time Metal Gear Solid 2 released, anyways. Oh, there it
The
is.
PlayStation 2 is more than just a video game console. It's a complete entertainment system. Last issue, we featured a new technology that will expand what our PlayStations can do. This issue, we thought we'd tell you a little more about it.
First-person video is a 360 degrees maneuverable video where the viewer can control which direction they would like to see. Unlike a normal video, it is an active viewing experience.
I guess this is kind of like a, no pun intended, a precursor to modern day VR. So that's kind of cool. It's like VR without the glasses.
Initially, we created 360 still imagery, and it was very interesting. You know, it actually brought a person to another space, but it was only a moment in space.
Man, if later E3s still had these walking around in like a virtual space, like you can look at these in real time as they're walking around, that would have been amazing. I don't know if they had those. And now that E3 is basically all but dead, it's probably not bound to happen.
But En route needs more than amazing cameras to create first-person video. Once the video has been shot, there's still a lot of work to be done.
We used 8 cameras pointing outward. We're capturing everything simultaneously. Then we take, in this case, 8 video streams, and we run it through our process that seamlessly stitches all the images together into one video.
And then the human operator has to do that last little tweaking, and the mind can detect some.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine what the editing process for this is like. To have to do this in real time.
And then once he gets that thing set, then the computer can take over.
In 2001, mind us.
When En route was looking for a machine to play back their first-person videos, they decided that they needed the power of the PlayStation 2.
Well, initially we were looking for a platform that met several criteria, and the PS2 had enough horsepower to make this possible.
Our technology is pretty limitless. It's going to be the consumer that's going to drive the uses of this technology.
Like, I mean, if you look really closely, you can kind of see where the seams between, like, each video was split. But other than looking real tough into it, I'd say this is a pretty impressive technology for the time. It just depends on if your computer can handle it. You can imagine, you know, the processing power of a regular desktop PC in 2001. I would have loved to see more of that. We'll watch a couple of the videos and then play some of the demos. I think that's how it goes. As per usual, download cheats and unlockable save files and everything. Warjets, I don't even think I've heard of. Oh, Eye Hunter. All cheats and goodies unlocked. Downscope 2. Never give you enough. Oh no, are they talking about the Final Fantasy Spirits Within movie? That was out this summer as well. I feel like we've covered this on this channel a few times. Like when I was doing E3, like my first E301 video with GameCube stuff, they were mentioning this in one of the Tech TV T4 videos. I have this movie on VHS. If anybody wants to watch it.
Opened, Square EA threw a little party for all the Final Fantasy fans at the PlayStation Store at Metreon, San Francisco. Final Fantasy fanatics lined up around the block as rumors circulated that the creator of the Final Fantasy universe, Hironobu Sakaguchi, might make an appearance.
Let me know if you got it. Yeah, it only took until the PS1 for the series to finally catch on worldwide.
Final Fantasy games.
Like it went from niche, everybody loved Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 7 became a worldwide sensation, and here we are at number 10.
and costume contest, where the winners received Final Fantasy toy sets, action figures, soundtracks, and exclusive
Never mind.
t-shirts.
Final Fantasy X was also so good that it was one of the only games that
Every
got a
so
direct
often, a
sequel
hush
to its
fell over
one
the
game.
crowd as they showed a video from Final Fantasy X.
Like, what other game in the series besides 13 has done that so far?
We wanted to know what some of Final Fantasy's biggest fans thought about the upcoming movie.
Final Fantasy rocks!
Final Fantasy rules!
They're cute.
Anticipation of Sakaguchi-san's arrival was definitely on the rise.
Sakaguchi, you're my lord and god.
Early 2000s era.
Finally, towards the end of the evening, Sakaguchi-san made an appearance.
How long has Hironobu Sakaguchi had that mustache on him?
We managed to
Because
pry
he rocked
away
that
from his
thing
boring
all throughout
fans
the
to ask him a
90s.
few questions, like why the movie was not based on any of the games.
The story and characters in Final Fantasy are different each time. And actually, in the beginning, the movie started with the idea that it didn't have to be Final Fantasy or related to it. But as we progressed, the theme progressed into taking the Final Fantasy that I've been working with even deeper. It is very similar to Final Fantasy VII or IX. The title Final Fantasy just seemed to fit. After a press screening of the movie, someone wrote, "This is Final Fantasy."
Is
I
it?
feel the same way in that there aren't similarities when comparing every detail,
That's
but the game
very
and movie share
subjective.
the same feeling, and that was really important to me.
Since the room was filled with Final Fantasy fanatics, we wondered if Sakaguchi-san thought the movie would cross over to a broader audience.
Yes. Even if you don't know anything
I mean,
about
this
the
wasn't
game,
even the only
you
video
can
game
enjoy the
themed
movie.
movie that came out this
Even in the
summer.
games,
The first Lara Croft Tomb
so
Raider
that you
movie
can
was
play
also
any
out
of them without
by
having
this
played
time.
the others. For example,
Which, again,
Final
also have
Fantasy
that on
X has been
VHS.
created so that you can start playing with that one and enjoy it. People don't need to worry about that, and I hope they come see the movie.
I'm sure, like the
Making
original
movie
Mario
and
Brothers
making
movie,
the
there was
game
some
very different.
troubles in
But I
development
guess since
that
this movie is a
prevented
CG
things from
movie,
turning out the way that,
computers and software movies are all the
Sakaguchi wanted
same,
it
so
to.
there may be more similarities than differences.
Especially for dealing with this level of
My goal was to
CGI.
make the human characters very lifelike. It was very difficult, but I think our hard work and professional skills have paid off, and we were able to achieve very realistic CG actors. I think that's the biggest difference, since that's something we
I wonder how
haven't
much
seen
motion capture they used for the human actors in this movie. 'Cause
Finally,
I
we
feel
were
like
dying
this is
to
one
know
of those
whether there'll be a
movies.
Final Fantasy 2.
I'd like to make one, and I have a bunch of ideas that aren't necessarily sequels. I'm in the process of trying to decide which one to pursue, so yes, I'd like to make the next movie. I hope people will look forward to it.
And there never was. Well, there was Final Fantasy
If you
VII.
can't get enough of Final Fantasy, check the box for the complete trailer of Final
But like
Fantasy
I said, I feel like this is one of those movies that kind of like the original Mario Brothers movie. And I can't believe we're at the point where we have to call that the '93 Mario Brothers movie the original one. But like I feel like this is one where the development and like the making behind the scenes of it is probably more interesting than the final product itself. You know, especially for the technology that they had at the time to look at it. Speaking of behind the scenes. Good. Go back into Jack.
Hey gang, Meg
my
here outside the headquarters of
Jesus
Naughty Dog
Christ, she
Software.
scares me.
Up there, the gang is hard at work on their new game, Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy. My reputation as a journalist
That was
must
Naughty
proceed,
Dog
'cause
Studio?
I'm about to score an interview with Jak himself. Let's head on up. You may recognize Naughty Dog as the folks behind that famous Bandicoot, star of the Crash series. Now they're working hard to make stars of Jak and his buddy Daxter. I'm going to get a little face time with Jak
just wait until we
discuss
get to
its rise
Uncharted.
fame. I can't seem to find the receptionist, but Jack's got to be around here somewhere.
How did Jack?
Excuse me, I'm here to see Jak. He's expecting me.
How did Jack go from not speaking at all in the first game to
Jack.
being a
From
total
Jak and
edgelord by
Daxter?
Jack 2?
Yeah, you might want to try the conference room down the hall.
Have you guys seen Jak? I had a couple quick questions for him.
Jak is just a CG character, but I can tell you anything you want to know.
He's a poly, not a CG character. What's up with you fleshies
God.
anyway? Always trying to claim credit for our hard work.
Right. Jack's just a little busy right now. But there's some folks in the studio who might be able to answer your questions.
I didn't mind my playthrough. Jack went very well.
Well,
For
after wandering around
the
set
first
for a while,
PS2
I
game that we
tracked down
played
a few
this year.
members of the Naughty Dog team who were quite helpful. They told me a little bit about the adventures of Jack and Daxter.
Jack and Daxter is about a couple of friends. They have a tendency to get into a lot of trouble together, and there's one particular time at the start of the game where the two of them are exploring a forbidden place called Misty Island.
As Jack and Daxter are exploring Misty Island,
I just love the superimposed
something they don't know what it is. Daxter
green
throws
screen
it
backgrounds
to
that
Jack.
they're in.
Jack catches it, and as he catches
Like,
it,
yeah, the big thing that I'm wondering, especially with the ambiguous ending of this game, is how did it go from, you know, this more happy-go-lucky environment with these two guys to being very much darker in tone with the second and third games. And I think I'm probably going to figure that out as we go along.
Who's a mentor of theirs,
if I get around to
the village
Jack
that they grew up in, and saying, "What can we do?" And he says, "Well, there's only one person I know of that might even be able to help you. He lives far to the north, and you're going to have to go find him."
Because I think chronologically, the next game in this series is the Daxter game on PSP.
Eco is
Like in between,
an energy force that
in between
runs
this
through
one
the
and
planet.
Jack
There
Boo,
are many different
that
varieties.
one.
There's blue eco and green eco and yellow eco and red eco, and each one of these different kinds of eco give you different kinds of powers to the game, and you have to learn
Eco,
how to use
confused with,
eco to
you
your
know,
advantage.
Eco.
We have Dark Eco, which acts as a catalyst for all the other ecos. Like Blue Eco, by itself, you might have, you know, some sparks, you'd have static electricity rubbing your feet on the floor or whatever, right? You mix some Dark Eco in there and you've got a thunderstorm, you know, millions of volts and just incredible power.
This was a pretty, for how open world it was pretty linear and straightforward on what to do.
Daxter back into his human form.
I'm actually
Like,
in,
very rarely did I
Village,
actually
which
have
is
to
where
pull
you
up a
start the
walkthrough
game.
to kind of
There's
figure
a bunch
out
of
where
huts
exactly I
behind me, as you can
was.
see. Those huts are the dwelling place of a lot of the
Except
villagers
for
that
some
you'll
parts
meet when
by
you
the
first
end.
start the game. And all of these villagers generally have something that they want you to do for them, and you can do these quests and tasks and get a power cell in exchange. One particular example is the sculptor in Sandover Village has lost his muse. She's run away to Misty Island. She's a little furry creature. And so when you get to Misty Island, you'll see the muse running around. So if you catch the muse and bring it back to the sculptor will give you a power cell.
Oh, isn't that supposed to be out tomorrow?
Oh, my muse! You saved her! Oh, you really are the best. Here, take this power cell. I won't need it now that I have my inspiration back.
Well, that sounds simple enough. What else are those two going to be doing?
There's a tremendous number of different tasks in the game. Some are incredibly simple, like just find a little hidden place and collect a reward. Others are woven across a number of different levels. A specific example of these tasks would be in the first village. The mayor is complaining that...
Yeah, lining up the mirrors. Lining up the mirrors to get like the power back to his house. I couldn't figure that out on my own.
Discovered that the evil lurkers have diverted the power beam into their machine, and then you have to realign the beam towers all across the jungle to like connect it back to the village.
Jack and Daxter face
Yeah, I mean, like, had I known that now, that would've been a smooth
lurkers who are constantly in their face. But be careful, they're a lot smarter than they look.
When are we getting Mario Party 3 on Switch Online? I mean, now that they're rolling out the rest of the N64 games, like, is there any word on when we're getting 3 or Stadium 2 or any of the rest? Your guess is as good as mine.
Not stand a chance against all those lurkers without a little help from Samos Hagai, the Green Sage, and his daughter Kayla.
Well, one of my favorite characters is actually the Green Sage, Samos. Samos is sort of your classic wise man, although instead of the typical nice, kindly old man, he's this really crotchety old guy, you know, yells at you a lot. He's always saying things like, "Why haven't you done this yet?" So it sort of adds a element of sarcastic humor to the game.
Fine, fine. Adventure away then. And while you're out adventuring, why don't you make yourself useful?
Hey, baby. What do you say you and I go cruising on this A-Grav Zoomer?
Kira is Jack's mentor, the Sage's very cute daughter. She's not your typical kind of teenage girl. Instead, she's in there in the racer machine shop in their hut, tinkering in the garage,
out of our league,
like
boys.
building this A-Grav Zoomer device. She's like determined to really get them working.
Great! You have the 18 cells needed to power my heat shield.
Oh yeah, some of the level, or some of, especially the one where you have to like fly through the rings. Some of the power cells in that one, where you're on that hovercraft ride, those kind of drained me a little bit.
All the work has really paid off, especially in the animations.
We've created kind of a unique system for blending different animations to create smooths between what would be two totally separate animations in most other games now. I'll give you an example of this. If you're running along, you may be halfway in speed between a walk and a run. Well, what our game will do is it'll take the walk animation, it'll take the run animation, and it'll evenly blend between them to create a new frame that represents where your feet would be if you're running at that speed. And if you jump, it'll blend all of those things into the jump and create a new unique frame of animation that represents exactly what you'd be.
It's things like these that you never really notice the first time around playing,
not
or you just don't appreciate it.
Number of possibilities, all of which, every single frame, are created just to get the right animation to make him smoothly move in and out of every one of his frames. And that's truly unique.
Oh,
Smooth moves alone mean nothing unless you
these
have
videos
the
are
look
running
to
in
back it
60
up.
FPS on
And
my
these two definitely have the look.
DRT.
The character design process for this game was very challenging for us because we actually have now the capability of creating characters that we always wanted to see on either a video game or an animated feature. And because of that, the level of detail that Jack has is about 6 times greater than what the level of detail Crash had.
So for example, Jack himself is more polygons and is more detailed than the entire screen was in a single frame of Crash. Just Jack.
It's not only the main characters that look great, but the entire world really comes to life.
That's the power of the
team at
PS2.
Naughty Dog have truly pushed the power of PlayStation 2, creating an absolutely amazing looking world for Jack and Daxter to explore. One of the things that really sparked my interest is the particle system.
The particle system is a very handy thing. It deals with little tiny chunks of stuff that you can sort of assemble together into making a flame or a piece of smoke or maybe ripples or rain.
All of the places in the game are really cool. All I can say is, wow, this new world really shows off the power of PlayStation 2.
One of my favorite visual effects in the game is when you kind of battle your way up to the top of the tower over there, the one with the rotating disc on it.
And I'm funny. It's funny to think it's like they think that this is the epitome of PlayStation 2 power when this is a little over a year in, and then by the time Jack X, even Jack X comes out, was like 2005, 06. That puts this in shame. So they definitely nailed down the hardware pieces of it as time went on.
Each of these areas are pretty impressive in their own right, but you're going to be amazed at how big and cool this world really is.
One of the things we set out to do with Jack and Daxter is to create a giant contiguous world. What that means is once you've actually started playing the game, you'll never have to stop and wait for a load time. You'll never
that's what I really appreciate about this game is that there are like no load screens, something that
you were in the forest.
You only really see in other PlayStation 2 games like San Andreas, where you're going from one area to the next.
And you're in a new
area. Everything just feels very
I learned a ton about the game
seamless
from
as it's
Jason
going
and his
from
team
one
at Naughty
point to the
Dog,
next here.
but I still didn't get to meet Jack. So I decided
However
that
they
for the
did
game,
that, that's
I'd wait
impressive.
for him. Is Jack here yet?
Nope.
Is Jack here
No.
yet? Is Jack here
No.
yet? Is Jack here yet?
No.
Shut
Is
up,
Jack here
bitch.
yet?
No.
Alright, that's the end of that. Yeah. Again, for those who missed it, my Jack and Daxter playthrough is up on my YouTube channel. Go ahead and check that out. Just a 3-parter. I got through Jack. I got through Jack and Daxter very well. I appreciated a lot of what that game had to offer, and it left me. The ending, albeit a little bit questionable, left me eager to play a lot more. Medica. Did we have? I don't think we had Wipeout on PS2 yet, or at least not in. We did Wipeout come out. In other words, Wipeout. It was Wipeout Fusion, right? That one.
It's a world where man and machine become one in a race for glory. It's fast-paced, futuristic.
Yeah, no, Wipeout Fusion came out a little bit later.
Experience the ultimate evolution in racing in Santa Monica Studios' sleek new racer, Kinetica.
Kinetica is a futuristic racing game. It has characters that put these kinetic suits on that give them certain abilities to race up buildings and have speed and excess.
Fusion came out June 2002.
We wanted a very, very fast-paced racing game where the emphasis was on speed and the maneuverability of the bikes. And we wanted to do something interesting as well.
The most interesting thing about Kinetica is that the vehicles are actually kinetic
Alright,
suits that the
let's
riders
zoom in
meld
on
into,
that.
thus giving the rider incredible agility.
In most racing games, the vehicles are
Just
kind
stay
of
on this for a little bit. I don't mind.
cars, you know, the wheels turn. That's really about the only animation that you have on the vehicle. We have very animated characters. They're people. They have wheels attached to the skins. The entire body moves when they do a turn. And we had to develop an animation system that allowed us to do that.
But Kinetica isn't just about going fast. As you're racing, you can perform stunts. And if you want to win, you'd better get your tricks down, because more tricks mean more speed.
Most of the aspects of this game are about speed, so the stunts, the amount of stunts you do play a direct role in how much boost you have. It all depends on the look of the bike. Each of the bikes have...
I mean, like Wipeout, I never really played much of these games enough to give a fair judgment on them. I definitely played more F-Zero than any of this. F-Zero is the one that kind of set the standard on futuristic racers.
Keep your eyes open for power-ups scattered along the tracks.
We have boost pads throughout the track, and they're pretty much self-explanatory. You drive over those and they push up the horsepower of the bikes quite a bit.
You can also siphon boost from the turbo pads. If you press one of the control buttons while you're driving over a pad, you can suck the turbo into the bike to be used at a later date rather than use it at the same time.
And we also have crystals throughout the track, and once you pick up 5 of those, it goes into kind of a slot machine deal.
There are some offensive attacks as well. You can pick up a burst attack, which allows you to knock other bikes out of the way, spin them out of control.
October.
There's an infinity boost, which basically...
Oh, the engine for this game was later used in God of War.
Keep going faster and faster. Super boost,
well, Santa Monica Studios, so... Yeah, God of War 1 and 2, and SOCOM.
Which forms a draft cone behind the bikes ahead of you, and if you can maneuver within that cone, you also get more boosts.
Kinetica has a unique control system.
How did they go from this to God of War?
In order to make the bikes feel very fluid and animated, we're using that sensitivity of the analog stick, so that if you lean slightly over, the bike will only move slightly. If you lean the whole way over, the bike will turn very hard. We're actually using both of the DualShock analog sticks, the left one for steering and the right one for braking and acceleration.
And then to perform tricks, roll down the R1.
I would assume, though, with
that takes away the control of the bikes.
A game this fast-paced, I would assume like the multiplayer, like those are 2 players.
Similar to fighting game type moves.
If it has
perform stunts, so sweeps and back and forth, and then at that point, all you have to do is make sure that you finish a stunt and let go of that button before you land it.
So it's definitely more of a stunt racer than you would find in like F-Zero. F-Zero is just about fast-paced racing, but this is about, you know, pulling off tricks and combos to
deal with many
increase your
more
stats.
Polygons than we did on PlayStation 1 games. Kinetica is pushing upwards of 15 million polygons a second. Our main characters, the bikes in the game, have 10,000 polygons for their highest level of detail. There are 12 bikes on screen at any one time. We were throwing more polygons into one bike than we threw into the entire scene on the PlayStation. Overall, this made
there were a couple other games that were also out around this time. There was Extreme G3 also on PS2, but there was also on GameCube. There was another one that came out later on GameCube that I played once. It was called Tube Slider.
It's an amazingly beautiful game.
Tube Slider is another kind of futuristic racing game, but it was
to tell us about their favorites.
Yeah, 2003.
I really like the space station levels.
Tube Slider goes under a lot of people's radar. That was done by NDQ.
Alternative paths to get through them.
Tube Slider was done by the team that did F-Zero Maximum Velocity on
We've allowed
GBA.
people to drive on walls, pretty much go where they feel they want to.
The levels that take place in the power station have some really trippy effects in them. Very interesting environment to race in.
If the demo of this is playable on this disc, we'll check out this game.
Those levels are really nice. I think those are probably my favorites.
Kinetica is a completely original game, and we think it'll blow you away. So get ready to strap on your kinetic suit and bust some huge tricks.
Well, I mean, something had to do better. Someone had to do better than Ridge Racer 5 at some point, right? Alright, I guess we could take a look at Eco again. I was just confused. I know that this is a good game, it's just puzzle platformers that don't really give me much of imagination on how to play them.
The PlayStation 2 was released with the potential to create stunning worlds that game players have never seen before. Now, there's a game where that potential has been realized. Eco is a new game.
I definitely feel like this is a game that inspired a lot of indie games to come out later.
On a quest to save a princess and themselves. The story of Eco begins
both
in a
2D
small
and
village.
3D.
Every generation, a boy is born with horns on his head. The boy is believed
that
to
so?
be evil, and the villagers sacrifice him to cleanse the village of evil spirits.
Yeah, I often categorize this game in like the circle of games like Shadow of the Colossus, maybe God of War, Okami.
He's able to escape.
You know, games that you synonymize with the PlayStation 2, but often have like similar elements in between each game.
So now he's roaming the castle.
Well, yeah,
trying
Eco
to
and
find a
Shadow
way
Colossus were bundled together. PS3.
However, and here this game differs from other games, there is another prisoner in the castle, a girl named Yorda.
Like, if you remember last time, we got outside and then I was just like, okay, what the hell am I doing?
It's a different kind of story. Escape will not be easy. Yorda and Eco must first battle many enemies and solve a series of mind-bending puzzles to emerge safely from their prison.
It's named Eco?
The castle's built on the edge of a cliff. On one side of it, there's a terrace with a majestic windmill. On the other side is a vast ocean. The sea breeze blows in and the windmill turns. The castle walls tower above you. It's an extreme.
Yeah, having to constantly call for your partner kind of drains
The
me a
place
little
feels
bit.
like a famous tourist attraction.
Like, having to tell her what to do, where to go,
Beyond the
and
amazing
to
scenery,
stay in
the game is
stock.
enhanced by the movement of objects, such as the swaying.
It's a good mechanic in concept, but if I didn't think it was managed well.
Well, PlayStation 2 has incredible computing power, but if you import realistic physics into a game, you get something that you didn't expect. It's too realistic. The key is to present it so it looks believable, but it is still exciting gameplay. It took us a tremendous amount of time to master that balance.
Probably a cut example of this game that makes me think, or an indie game that makes me think of this, Limbo, the game where you're, constantly fighting in shadows. The 2D kind of puzzle platformer game.
We obsessed over the look and feel of the game. We
God,
animated
Limbo came out
everything
in
by hand
2010.
to capture our imaginations, to bring to life what was happening inside our heads. In the beginning, you've got something that's been clearly and deeply imagined. We investigated a lot of different methods, developing different technical approaches to bring it to life on the screen. We worked really hard at it, and the result is the sort of game that you see. All of their work paid off. Eco shows off the graphical power of the PlayStation 2 to its fullest. Be sure to take a look at this.
It's a very liminal game, let's say. Like, very open world, but like, not much around you. Not much around you to kind of explore and do. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you like Zelda dungeons, and honestly, who does? That'll probably be up your speed. But I feel like Eco is a game that's suited better for somebody who would appreciate, these kind of smaller scale games. Not to say Eco is a small scale game. I mean, it's one of the biggest PS2 games anybody would remember. All right, might as well since it's the last one. Or not. Did that just straight up crash? Okay, I guess no football then. If I can soft reset. Nope. Never mind. I haven't had that happen before though. All right, no football then. Not like anybody's complaining. I'll get back to it in a sec. Yeah, now that I've updated all the apps and everything on the PS2, it takes a little bit longer to boot. Are we on? Alright, I think we should be good to go after this. Yeah, you might want to veer away for that. Oh, not that again. Alright. That was the last one of those. These, I mean, they exaggerate the whole cool part of these cool moves. It's just somebody showing off their skills in these games. Oh, nice Warriors. There's a lot more of these. I don't know what. What's the Dynasty Warriors one in the Metal Gear Solid?
Hi, I'm John, a member of the Sony PlayStation Tip Team. Today I'm going to show you a move in the game Dynasty Warriors 2 for PlayStation 2. In it, you'll learn how to unlock Lubu as a playable character by getting 1,000 KOs in the level Hulao Gate. Here's how it's done. In the beginning of Hulao Gate,
I mean, I've only played the demo of the first Dynasty Warriors on PS1, the fighting game.
Opening each of the gates in turn to make your way to the main gate. If you do this, however, you will have too many of your own troops fighting alongside you.
These kinds of games don't really appeal to me much.
Is finished. Take this path through the ravine in the right-hand side of the screen, and do not defeat any enemy generals or gate captains along the way. This will ensure that your own forces are unable to break through and give you adequate time to get 1,000 KOs before you complete the level. Make your way to the east side of the map, and then go
south ton of these
so you come to the gate where you must defeat Li Ru.
What was the newest Dynasty Warriors that they made?
And then you will find yourself in a hallway with a seemingly endless supply of soldiers.
9?
After fighting in this hallway for a long time, you should be able to get 1,000 kills. If you have trouble doing this, you may want to go back and fight some previous battles to increase the abilities of your fighter, so that you're able to unlock the playable character Lubu.
Yeah, 9 in the main series.
And that's how it's done.
Lubu, board, item.
Hi, I'm John from the Sony PlayStation Tip Team, and today I'm going to show you a cool move for the game Dynasty Warriors 2 for the PlayStation 2.
I mean,
in it, you'll learn how
at
to
least the cool thing about this is, other than y'all paying the cost for the demo disc, or like paying the cost for the magazine subscription, they give you these for free rather than having to call a 1-900 number to figure these out for yourself.
When you play in the Battle
how much
of
that
Hefei,
racks up.
you must choose the side of Sun Quan, or play one of the characters from his army, in order to find this power-up. At one point during
It's
the battle,
unlikely you'll see me
Sun
play a
Quan's
Dynasty
forces
Warriors
will be
game on
flanked
this stream.
by the forces of Zhang Liao.
Or Samurai Warriors, or Warriors
Carries the
Orochi,
sword that's
or
worth +10 to your attack.
much of
You
any
just
other
have to get down
spin-offs.
there and stop him before the game is lost. When you defeat
Just
Zhang
what
Liao,
Koei Tecmo's up to these days.
he will drop the sword that gives you +10 to your attack. And all you need to do is finish the level to claim your bonus. And that's how it's done.
Oh, you're so smug about it, pal. Alright. Do I dare spoil myself on Metal Gear Solid 2? This is probably going to help me out in the long run.
I'm with Konami of America.
Come
and
the
I'm
rare
here
event I
today
ever
to show
get
you
in this
some
game.
cool moves of Metal Gear Solid 2. This time around, Solid Snake is taking infiltration methods to a whole new level. One of the first coolest moves is the new jump out shot.
But you don't play as Snake in this game.
What you need to do is go down any kind of corridor which has an enemy
Well, the
on
main
the other
game.
side. Get next to the wall, and you'll be able to see your enemy target. Jump out, shoot, and then come right back. The enemy doesn't know that you've hit him, and then within seconds, the enemy is neutralized, and Snake can go on his way onto other cool infiltration tactics.
Huh.
The jump out shot is a really important move for Snake to use.
It's almost like
so be sure
Whiplash
to
effect. It doesn't hit you until a couple of seconds after. I'm probably gonna.
Hi, this is Jason Enos from
Again,
Konami of
guys,
America.
I'm
here to
terrible
show you
at
the
stealth
newest
games. I play Metal Gear Solid like
Solid
it's a
2.
third-person shooter.
Solid Snake can avoid detection now by hiding enemy bodies.
My best
Hide a body
way
in
of
Metal
getting
Gear Solid
through
2,
most
you
stealth
must first
games is just
neutralize the
leave no
guard.
survivors.
To do this, shoot the tranquilizer dart into the back of the enemy. He'll be instantly stunned. Now Snake can safely go up, grab the body, and then look for a hiding place. Be sure that there's no other enemies around.
Why did he say that so weird? Look
Inside
for
here is a locker area, which is perfect
hiding
for him
place.
to hide the body.
Yeah,
Let go of the body.
that's it, right?
Open up the locker door. Grab the body. Go straight back into the locker.
I feel like the problem with this game, though, is that you're not always going to have this option readily available. So you kind of have to strategize based on where you are.
To survive
in
in Metal Gear Solid 2, you're going to need to finesse this move, so be sure to practice it.
Like, you're not always going to have the option as like, okay, yeah, I got this body, but like, where exactly am I going to hide it?
Hi, this is Jason Enos from Konami of America.
Same for when I was watching my brother,
Metal Gear Solid
when my brother was
2.
around,
Throughout the game,
and he was
there's
playing the
many places where
Batman,
Solid Snake can lean over
the Batman
ledges.
games on 360,
Occasionally,
the
an
Arkham
enemy will
games.
scroll by
And when I was doing a lot of the stealth
and if you
missions,
time it right, you can drop down and do a surprise
like,
attack.
I always said to him, it's like, wouldn't it just be easier just to kill everybody
What you
and
need
just
to
leave
do
no
is to
survivors
approach
rather
a
than,
ledge,
you know,
and then
take so
jump
much time
over.
to get rid of everyone.
And then beneath you, you can move left or right to organize your positioning, and then when the enemy is directly below Snake,
See, I wouldn't know to do this.
drop down and attack the enemy, and he'll be neutralized immediately.
They just jump, so you can just Goomba stomp
So
them
be sure
to kill
check
them.
out this cool move amongst many other infiltration moves in Metal Gear Solid 2.
So you just literally just drop right on top of their head and they'll die. I'm probably going to forget most of these by the time we get to playing, you know.
My name is Saul Villegas, and I'm a tip writer for Sony PlayStation. Today I'm going to show you the game
Villegas.
SSX for the PlayStation 2. In this cool move, I'm going to show you a huge shortcut in the level Elysium Alps. Let me show you how it's done. As you make your way through this narrow passage, anticipate the next 2 jumps before you reach the shortcut.
You are number 2.
When you reach the small sign with 2 arrows, veer off to the left. And jump over the log. Make sure to be using your adrenaline boost the entire time as you jump over the next series of jumps.
Backward flip with an ND. Backside 360.
Get that this was also an early PS2 game, and this was also an early PS2 demo disc. So, like, this was a launch title for the PS2. Don't you guys have
The last
any
part of the
more
shortcut
recent new games to show
is
off?
grind on this tree. Avoid the obstacles and make your way back onto the main track. Now, if you can make it all the way through that shortcut, you're almost guaranteed to get first place.
I can find a way to fuck that up. We're almost done. We're gonna get to the game soon. Oh shit, Siphon Filter 3 wasn't even out yet? Okay, so this was before November 01. And so this must have been, what, like September, October 2001? And yeah, because Siphon Filter, I was mentioning this in another Discord. Siphon Filter 3 was supposed to come out in September of 2001, but it got bumped. Got bumped a couple months due to unforeseen events. Gotta figure out what happened there. But anyways. But yeah, like, well, as soon as Siphon Filter 3 came out, I kind of felt like that was the end of, like, A quality games on the PS1. Because, like, everything from, like, late 2001 onwards was either just budget releases or just kind of straight up crap. Like, if you were still playing or buying new PS1 games in 2002, 03, 04, or whatever, either they were smaller versions of what was on PS2, especially sports games, budget releases that didn't go for any more than like $10, $10 or $20, or just, you know, what was left over to release. So. R1 here. Might have to remember that. The main menu is R1. I mean, how much of E3 2001 have I shown off on this channel? I've shown off more than enough. We gotta get to 2003 by next month. Anything new this time? Did anybody ever actually buy these cases? I've seen these out in the wild, and especially at thrift stores, but, like, has anybody ever actually bought these cases for their intended purpose? Like, it kind of makes more sense for GameCube, considering, you know, the console has a handle, it's supposed to make for easy portability, but, like, I never saw anybody buy, like, a whole OG Xbox carrying case to carry around their 20-pound console on their back. With the cables and hookups and dukes and everything. Like me, I just go the whole 9 yards and carry around a big cardboard box. So, like, it makes more sense for smaller consoles now, like the Switch. I mean, imagine if they had one of these for like PS5 or Xbox Series, or whatever. What's the point of portability? Considering now we have, you know, like travel size cases that have like built-in HD monitors in them. So. Just thinking of, you know, products of their time. Hopefully there's no Lara Croft in this. No, they finally cut it down. It's literally just that. That's Golf 3. I really thought we were gonna look at a Metal Gear Solid 2 demo today. Alright. Demo time. Demo time. Yeah, let's play this Kinetica game. Perfect. You're not gonna give me enough time to read all... They're not gonna give me enough time to read through all the instructions. Okay, fine. Flashing lights. I get it. It's a racing game. There's not much to it. She's one hot pod. Okay, well, at least it's 2 players. One track. It seems to be a recurring thing with most racing game demos is only one track. Like one track, 1 or 2 characters. As basic of a demo as it gets. What did this game retail for? Triangles who's behind. Oh, Jesus. Shit. Oh. Once I understand the mechanics of these games better, it makes for a much smoother and better experience. Those 3 guys ahead of me are very far ahead. Shoot that. There they are. Come on. Come on. Shit. Alright, I'll take a sec. As much as I wanted to give this game credit for probably being a good seller, I think it was probably well overshadowed that the fact that Grand Theft Auto 3 came out that same month. So I'm willing to bet a lot of people who were PlayStation 2 owners or bought a PlayStation 2 tuned more towards GTA 3 than this. Yeah, you gotta watch out for having some poor timing of releases. Sweet. Oh. Usually, if the rating is rating pending, then it's not a playable game. It's just a video. And what is it with these IDOS Crystal Dynamics games or whatever that they just don't give me playable demos? Especially with Legacy of Kain. I'm not really much into fantasy settings, but I definitely will play Legacy of Kain. Soul Reaver above the best. They always go over the top of these. I'm curious. Was Blood Omen 2? I know a couple of these were PS2 exclusive. Like, I think the last one, Legacy of Kain Defiance, was on GameCube, I think. Like GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. Soul Reaver 2 was on PC and PS2, so PS2 is console exclusive. Blood Omen 2 was... Oh, no, Blood Omen 2 was on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. And then Defiance, I know for a fact was on. No, Defiance wasn't on GameCube. Huh. It was only on PS2 and Xbox. So really, Soul Reaver 2 was like the only PS2 quote-unquote exclusive. Interesting. Alright. I guess we'll look at Final Fantasy X.
There have been other worlds before.
I'm sure everybody already knows about this
Mythical,
game.
exotic, timeless.
Blitzball's cool though.
Final Fantasy,
I will definitely vouch for Blitzball in this game.
Interactive worlds that have captivated millions. taking you to
I also found it funny how, you know, Sakaguchi said that, like, each Final Fantasy was its own individual game and none of them were interconnected. And then comes this one and is like, this is like the first and this is like the first out of 2 that we've had so far that actually has a direct sequel to this one.
A young adventurer named Titus,
Titus, whatever.
Journey. And Yuna, training in the ancient art of summoning. Join them as they struggle to save their world from a vast evil known only as sin.
Do I dare ask how long Final Fantasy X is? Really am.
Young heroes. Their courage. Their passion.
50 to 70 hours.
Enter the battle. Experience the danger. Their world is your world.
Hey, do you want to see me play one game for the next, like, half the year?
Final Fantasy
Then give me a Final Fantasy game.
Available only on PlayStation.
Because I am not playing anything else except for this.
Product not yet rated.
For a whole half year. Oh man, you'll pop to the soundtrack for this. Not 10. Wow, 10-2 is a little bit shorter. It's like 30 to 50 hours. Playable? No. Another Core IDOS trailer for an unplayable game. Alright, helicopters. Wait. Who did the music for this? What the fuck is this song? The song itself is selling me on this game. Yeah, imagine having fucking Godfrey or whoever sell your PlayStation 2 tank warfare game. I think they picked the perfect music for this. Is this game called Thunderstrike? How much is this nonsense going for? Is this a oh, soil needle? Well, there answers. There's my answer. Like, wait, Thunderstrike Operation Phoenix. Yeah, Thunderhawk or Thunderstrike Operation Phoenix. Literally $5. How can a game with a trailer that badass only sell for $5? By Core and IDOS, the Tomb Raider guys. Alright, can we look at one more Jak and Daxter trailer? I mean, come on, I've already played through this game. What else is there to say about Jak and Daxter? I think we gotta move on to Jak 2 at some point. Well, I mean, puzzle action platformers had to start up somewhere on the PS2, and I guess Jak was the first one to go around.
Hey, baby. What do you say you and I go cruising?
Before, you know, Ty, Sly, and everybody else did it. You know what else? I mean, as far as individual demo discs, when Jak and Daxter actually did have a couple, and Jak 2, and 3, I think. Yeah, all the Jak games had their own individual demo discs that I could download and play. It's just a bit of an extra hassle to get PS2 games working compared to PS1. You know, PS2 games are bigger in size. Harder to download if I can't, you know, just shank the hard drive out of it and stick it into my computer. I have to FTP them onto. Al's right. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do this stuff.
Can't seem to catch a single fish in this river.
Woo! Maybe it's your breath.
Man, this is going on for a while. I honestly do not even know what else to say about Jak and Daxter. I mean, if I've already played it and liked it, then I would just... I'm already preaching to the choir with this game. You guys already know how well this game was, and still is. I'm wondering, you know, because I played the PS2 version, I'm wondering how the PS4 HD remaster fared in comparison to the original. Plus, you know, there was that that PC open source version that I mentioned at the end of the playthrough as well. Is this game on Steam? It's not on Steam right now. It's weird now. There's a couple of these games to Steam. Alright. No. I'd rather play 2 and 3. Not really. Yeah. Did we? I'm a little intimidated by that. You know what? Let's save that for another time. Other than that, is that all that's on this demo disc? I mean, we've only been going for an hour. For an hour and a half. That seems to be all that was on this one. So let's reset. Let me think about what I want to do. So I know I started late. If we started on the right time, we'd still be doing another demo disc. Okay, usually in-game reset. Usually in-game reset just doesn't work, and I have to reset the whole console. Let me think about what to do. I have a couple other demo discs on, I have a couple other demo discs that I did install on this. These usually take about an hour. Let me... You know what? I think we're good for one more. I think we can look at the Winter 2001 demo disc. Yeah, so let's look at the Winter 2001 demo disc. So this was also kind of around this time, a little bit later than the one we just played. I think this is the Jampack. It's funny. I think if you guys follow Vinesauce at all, Vinesauce Vinny, I think, looked at this exact same demo disc. So it looks like somebody else beat me to the punch on this. Yeah, Jampack. Yeah, I mentioned that the Summer 01 demo disc is nearly identical to one of the ones that we played earlier. So yeah, that's 5.1. So Winter should be a little bit different. I wonder if there's a way that I can fix that. Oh, right. G's back again.
Hey gang, do not adjust your screen. I've just temporarily taken over
Are
your
you in like? Is this lady in like every single one of these PS1, PS2 Underground demo discs? Because these went on until like 2007 on the PS2. If we do this up until like 112 or whatever, and she's still here, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Hot news email announcements at scea.com. Click on the
The old
link and
internet.
you're good to go. While you're checking out what's inside, I'll be passing the word. So many gamers, so little time.
I mean, I'd rather take this chick than Adam Sessler or Morgan Webb. Oh, jeez. Isn't this a familiar sight? Yeah, some of these, kind of like the GameCube demos, they kind of just reuse the same layout for a while and then move on to the next one. Let me check what was coming up. Yeah, NECA. Again. Okay. Yeah, again, most of these are more or less the same. 3. There's okay, a couple here and there. Hopefully that's playable, please. Nah, we'll stay there. Yeah, half of these we've already seen already. So I guess it's more about, you know, what else is new on here. That's it. Yeah, it just reminds me of the GameCube demo disc series that we did, where they were doing these on like a month-to-month basis. Some of these they did like multiple in the same month, and I'm kind of just wondering like what exactly was different between what they just gave us. Because I think the last one that we just looked at was like October 2000, like September, October 2001. This had to be like November, December. So like, what exactly was new or different in between like a month or two? Already looked at that. I think we already looked at the extermination, didn't we?
This summer, you will go on a mission deep into the Antarctic, where a terrible threat awaits. Fear and danger wait at every turn.
I mean, it only feels like it's been a month, but like, I can't even remember. Yeah, extermination, like I mentioned, this kind of feels like the unofficial start of the survival horror genre on PS2. Before, you know, the PS2 got any real Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 0 was GameCube exclusive, I think. There was... When did Code Veronica come out on PS2? That was also on GameCube. Well, no, technically that was on Dreamcast.
From Tokuro Fujiwara and his team at Deep Space, extermination will take you places you've never been before.
I guess we can watch this again, considering I don't really remember it.
Extermination takes place at an underground research facility at the South Pole. Because of the extremely
I kind of keep mixing this game up with a later survival horror game, Cold Fear, by Ubisoft.
And all communications are cut off.
You know, takes place on like an abandoned ship in the Siberian desert.
When Dennis Riley and his partners in the Marine Special Forces Red Light Team arrive at the top-secret Antarctic base, they find that infected mutants have taken the base over, and that they are hell-bent on infecting the members of Red Light with their deadly virus.
Well, there are creatures in the facility that have violently mutated. They spit a green substance, and the infection that they're carrying is spread through that substance. At first, when you become infected with the virus,
take this.
You can cure yourself with medicine. You can recover.
Yeah, let me figure out when Code Veronica came out on PS2.
But if you get 100% infected, you can't cure yourself with
2001. Okay, so
you need to find a treatment pod.
August 2001 in North America. So Code Veronica was already out on PS2 by the time. And then it later went to GameCube.
When you've deteriorated completely,
I would have figured that Code Veronica came out later.
Deadly mutants, a lethal virus, danger at every turn. Sounds like a
This game worth anything?
for an action movie, and that's exactly what Deep Space is aimed to create in Extermination. An action movie where the player is immersed
$15
into a
game
world
at max.
where his actions, his fear, and his wits are
Well,
what control
you're looking
the
for
outcome.
budget horror. If this is $15, then what's Cold Fear worth?
we all see tons of films, and they all affect us differently. They move us, or they excite us.
Cold Fear is $50.
So we wanted to make the action in games feel more like a film.
And hell, Cold Fear is also on
Have a
Xbox.
better feel to it. You'd get the full
For
flavor
half
and
that.
power of it all. So to make this a reality, we developed the Region Action System. And I think that clearly distinguishes this game from other action games.
Does it now? Like that's your
With the
determining
Region Action
factor.
system, you control the character's movement with just one button. For example, when you need to jump, hitting the action button will make you jump. If you need to climb, just hit the same button. It makes the controls streamlined and easy to use.
Yeah, that's what an action button does, pal.
From the player's point of view, you're closer to being able to react to the game on a split-second gut basis.
Other than his teammates, Sergeant Riley has one crucial companion in the Antarctic cold, his advanced, highly customizable assault rifle, the SPR-4.
Modern American guns.
The player can rapidly customize the SPR-4. They can find attachments to make it into a flamethrower,
It's a grid and for
a
friends like
grenade
you
launcher,
about the stuff
or
in
numerous
our
other
Discord.
weapons.
From the executive producer of Biohazard and the creator of Mega Man, Extermination is the next step forward. You'll be amazed at the realism, as weapons experts were called in to work on the project.
We worked with Mr. Ichiro Nagata. This man is knowledgeable in military affairs. He
Yeah,
writes articles
this
for
part I-
Combat Magazine.
Okay, so yeah, I
he's
definitely-
extremely famous in Japan. He not only supervised the parts of the game having to do with guns and other firearms,
Wow.
he gave us all sorts of advice, such as how the characters should handle the weapons, how they should look while they're firing. We even took some of the movement in the game from the demonstrations he gave us.
From the detailed weaponry to movie-quality cutscenes that lead you through the story to the explosive gameplay, Extermination
Because
is
Don
a summer
Monfontaine was out
blockbuster you
recording
won't
something else
wanna
this
miss.
weekend, so they had to get his backup. Yeah, this flies under a lot of people's radar, and when mentioning a lot of PS2 survival horror games, this one doesn't really get brought up much. I want to ask why, but part of seeing what I've just seen kind of explains it. Yeah, because Resident Evil was the set standard. Everybody wanted to be the next Resident Evil, and like the only people who could make another good Resident Evil was Capcom. 'Cause they did it with Clock Tower 3. They did it with Haunting Ground. Who made? I mean, Silent Hill, I guess, was the only other contender. Like, who made Kuan? Kuan was from Soft. Rule of Rose was by Punchline, who I have no idea who the fuck is that. By somebody I love to lick. Again, another obscure Dreamcast PlayStation. Oh. Yeah, if it's not Capcom or Konami making it, your game is probably your survival horror game is probably automatically a B tier at best. There's 3. No briefing or anything? I've already seen those. I've already seen that. I guess we'll try and play something from the board. Sure, why not? It's a random game. Give me something, because I've already seen much of what this demo disc has to offer from the previous one. I mean, if you didn't know at the time, I guess, you know, you didn't know, but like... Anyways, what the hell is this game? Hold on, let me crank up the volume. I didn't kill who again? Yeah, what was that other dragon flying game that came out later that was probably already better than this? Drakengard, was it? Who exactly did Drakengard again? Yeah, I thought so. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have tried, but like, it's hard to live up to, you know, such a big name who's carrying your console, like Square Enix, Capcom, you know, all these guys. Why did I get off? I just straight up got off and died. Ah, okay, that's the end. Great fucking demo. Alright. Let me actually try to care about this. Like close to the ground. Yeah, that's probably. I'm not the best at most of these flying games, especially, you know, Star Wars Rogue Squadron or Starfighter. Remember the Starfighter demo that we played last time that I couldn't figure out? How low my health is already. Never mind. Dead. And who did this one again? This is a sequel to a game that wasn't even on PlayStation. Yeah, the first game was a PC exclusive. Auto start. That would have been nice to know.
There, that must be Snotmaw's lair.
Surprised I'm already dead. Yeah, no, I'm dead again. Do I care enough about this game to continue? No, not really. And it's not letting me leave. Wonderful. And soft resetting doesn't work. Wunderbar. I'm gonna see if there was anything else worth playing on that demo, and if not, that's probably gonna be the end of today. I only had enough energy in me to take a look at 2 demos anyways. I wouldn't be mad. I mean, I hope the guy that didn't sell this demo disc for more than $10. Yeah, especially after, you know, all the shit that I had to get back up and running. Thank God I have it set for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a lot longer day. Yeah, normally most of these demo discs didn't sell for more than $10 at max back then, so there's not too much room to complain for, you know, $10 worth of all this stuff. But like if both of these demos that we looked at tonight were both valued at $10, I would definitely choose the first one over, you know, the one that was released outright. But no, I don't think they gave out, you know, the magazine demo discs outside of, you know, having a subscription to the magazine. So I think the Jampack was like the only way for anybody who didn't have a subscription to the magazine to get one of these. So like all these magazine demo discs, I think you had to have the magazine to play them. Versus, you know, the Jampacks, you can go in like any used game shop. Like hell, they sold these at grocery stores from what I remember. So gets you to buy the magazine, doesn't it? Man, imagine if Nintendo did this with GameCube, with their GameCube demo discs. Like with Nintendo Power, get a free. Yeah, no, not you again. Like with Nintendo Power, get a free GameCube demo disc for each issue. Those would be fun to collect. If, you know, the kiosk demo discs weren't going for however much already. Yeah, let's look at the rest of the vault, and then did that, don't care. Exit the... Unless this is actually a playable demo. Holy shit, they give you a playable demo of Final Fantasy X. To exit this application, you must restart. Okay, now this might be worth it. If they're giving you a full demo of Final Fantasy X. You're not getting it from me, though. Tricky, okay. Okay, so maybe the demos themselves are worth it. Baldur's Gate. Actual playable demos. This one's not playable. Well, oh, watch the videos and then we'll play it. But I might play a couple of these. I mean, Jet Moto had to end at some point too, right? Not to also mention, Wave Race Blue Storm was a GameCube launch title. That was new release at this time, so I guess that was the game to compete with. Pro Skater 3 needs no introduction. I mean, this was one of my first and favorite PS2 games already, long before I added the hard drive to this. Like, I even remember bringing my PlayStation 2 in, like, one of the last days of high school. I brought my PlayStation 2 in because a friend wanted to play the PS2 with me, and we played a little bit of Pro Skater 3. Yes, this does have online support. One of the first PS2 games to have online support. And also, I think this is tied with GTA 3 as the highest rated PS2 game on Metacritic. Like, I think this has like a 97 on Metacritic. It's one of the highest rated games on the entire site. And rightfully so. I mean, this is my favorite Tony Hawk game out of all of them. Also, needless to say, Pro Skater 3 was the last N64 game. They actually managed to shell out an N64 version the following August. No, they had Pro Skater 4 on PlayStation 1 for some reason. Yeah. Never mind, Siphon Filter 3 being like the last quality... I guess it was like the last quality PS1 exclusive game. But like, Pro Skater 4 came out on PS2. Or on PS1. They only did Pro Skater 1 and 2 on Dreamcast. This is an RPG. Yes, it is. No shortage of these, but I have nothing to comment about them. No. Sony actually did this one themselves. Alright. Leave it to Sony themselves to deliver the quality. Alright, what are we playing? I've already played a couple SS games, so Baldur's Gate. I've been kind of interested in Baldur's Gate, not, you know, fully enough to get a full experience out of it. I don't even think these are PS2 exclusives. Oh god, this is by BioWare. No, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is Dark Alliance 2 was PS2 and Xbox. But yeah, no, Dark Alliance 1 was PS2, Xbox. Action RPG hack and slash. Please, God, play like Gauntlet Legends.
So dizzy now. Shinja. Sodin. This'll teach you.
Alright. It's kind of like Gauntlet. Yeah, Gauntlet, I don't mind. I'm very picky when it comes to RPGs or RPG fantasy style games. I don't like turn-based RPGs like what were we playing? Jade Cocoon. Like I didn't mind it, it's just it wasn't my forte. If it's something like Gauntlet or Phantasy Star Online, where it's kind of like an action hack and slash action RPG, yeah, that's definitely better. So you know, something like Sudeki, where, you know, it's not traditional RPG, but like... I'm glad that, you know, the whole RPG genre has its own, like, subclasses. No pun intendo. That, like, you can kind of figure out which variety of RPG that there is. Like, not even just JRPG, WRPG, CALPPT, whatever, RPG. My slash. Was the goal to kill all the rats? Oh god, that's so neat. Again, you know, come to think of it, Gauntlet Dark Legacy, I think, was also out on PS2 around this time, too. Not to mention, you know, Seven Sorrows came out later.
This'll teach you.
Gauntlet was a whole 4-player experience. At least, you know, Gauntlet Legends was on N64 and Dreamcast. I think Gauntlet Legends was 2-player only on PS1. Oh. Oh.
This'll teach you.
Alright. I mean, with the items I picked up. Oh, oh, dead. Heck. I gotta do all that again. I kind of got the idea. It's Gauntlet, but at least everybody knows this version of Gauntlet. Oh, so you can. It's select. This game shouldn't be too cheap, right? I know some of the Baldur's Gate. But, you know, it's almost kind of reminds me of, like, tabletop RPGs and, like, video game counterparts. You guys know what Warhammer is. Warhammer 40,000. I, myself, am probably never going to play standard Warhammer. I will just leave that up to the geeks and masses. But, like, there's a couple Warhammer video games adaptations that seem a little bit more interesting to me. Like, I think there was, like, an FPS on PS2 that I found. That I might be willing to try out. Yeah, Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 on Switch now. There's a Game Boy Advance version of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, and it's $85 complete. Why the Game Boy Advance? Yeah. Dark Alliance 1 is like $15 or something on PS2 and Xbox. Dark Alliance 2 is 20 to 30. In comparison to what's Gauntlet Dark Legacy? Gauntlet Dark Legacy, okay, don't buy the GameCube version. Gauntlet Dark Legacy is like $20 on PS2 and then 40 on Xbox. So I guess relatively cheaper. It kind of depends on what you like. Just check things. I think we're almost done today. I can check my mail, please. No. Alright, was there anything else that was worth playing? I guess. Not really that into Dynasty Warriors. Yeah. I've already played that. I couldn't figure out that game. Not really my speed right now. I've already played a crap ton of SSX. If Adam was here right now, he'd probably be playing the Final Fantasy demo. Honestly, I probably would say this is a better lineup of demos than the other demo disc. So I guess, like, as far as PlayStation Magazine versus, Jampack. Jampack probably has the better demos, but Magazine has the better extras. Say a fair judgment. It's all from the same family. Alright. I think that's wrapped up. we got a big day tomorrow, guys. We got a big day tomorrow. Tomorrow, if you guys haven't been paying attention, I am doing MLB Power Pros with Sierra. And let me tell you, we are going to be at each other's throats the entire time. So stay tuned for that spectacle. I think Kyle's on right now, but I'm just seeing who else is on. Yeah, so we're basically down to the main event of April starting tomorrow. And then I want to start a new playthrough. I mean, even as soon as Friday is open. Probably not going to stream on Thursday, just to kind of give myself a little bit of a break. I might actually be busy on Saturday night, so maybe Friday we can do something. But yeah, as far as big things happening tomorrow, be on the lookout for that, and I will alert you guys when that happens. Let's see who else is on. I want to do more of these. These have been fun to stream. I feel like I'm actually getting a little bit more enjoyment and entertainment out of doing like side events like demo discs versus, you know, actual main playthroughs. So if I can figure out a way to like, probably I'll be at the movies. Okay. Have you seen the Mario movie yet? Adam, have you seen the Mario movie? If you have not seen the Mario movie, I will see if we can do that sometime next week. Mario. Yeah. Well, I want all of us to at some point discuss the Mario movie. So Adam and I have got to get on that sometime next week. And then honestly, I got to get the original Mario movie. You know, the 93 Mario movie. We got to get that on VHS at some point. Who else is on? I know Kyle's on. I was doing more PS1 stuff. Okay, yeah, so we got, the three of us kind of have to butt heads together, go see the movie, and then discuss it afterwards. 'Cause I want to see that even before we go pick up the original Mario movie. Did it? Is it? I'm scared to check. I'm actually checking eBay right now. Did the original Mario movie on VHS go up in price? Okay, it's still anywhere between 30 and 50 bucks. Which, you know what? That's a lot for a VHS tape, but Amazon had it for $5. I usually buy my VHS tapes on eBay. DVD. Yeah, VHS, whatever. I mean, 30 to 50 is around the average I'll probably pay for a VHS of it. Okay, I gotta figure out what to do. All right, let's get out of here. I think we're just gonna go to Kyle's because I got a lot to do. Big things tomorrow, guys. Big things. I'm a little nervous, to be honest. Got everything in OBS reset. This is gonna be a hell of a go again. We ready? Yep, let's go. Take care. Good night.